Cyberpunk 2077 is easily the biggest game release this year, riding off of a wave of 7 years of hype and about 30 different commercials. It's already recouped its cost, proving once and for all that finishing your games before launch is for chumps.
Sometimes it doesn't just work.
Easy pot shots aside, the majority of my time playing this game has been rather fun. A whole new world to explore, characters to meet, abilities to acquire, and new ways to run over pedestrians. And honestly, before getting into too many of my initial thoughts on this game, I just want to say, if this game was nothing but awesome for you, if it's the best game you've ever played, or just one of the best this year, I think that's truly awesome. This year has been shit. The fact that some people have the chance to experience something so positive is awesome. Now all you sweet fanboys, get out of here before I cyberdunk on Cyberpunk. Okay, now that they're gone. What the f*** is going on? Did we all just get cyberpunked? Well, if you're confused, don't worry, because I've thought about it, and I'm pretty sure I can help you all understand, because I'm right about everything. Personally, most of the game has actually been pretty fun for me. It is a really ambitious project that has ended up being pretty entertaining. However, part of the time, something just feels off. Maybe it's because I'm 84 years old and I've played more open world games than there are promises broken by Todd himself. Or maybe it's because I have the attention span of, Anyway, pretty much the only requirement for a game is for it to be fun and entertaining. And I'd say that Cyberpunk 2077 clears that bar. However, something's not quite right. The colors and lighting in this game look exquisite. There are excellent cinematic and thrilling pockets of the game during major story moments that look superb and feel exciting. Speeding around the world on a motorcycle is nothing but a joy. The animations and sound effects while shooting guns make shootouts a blast, especially considering this isn't just an action game. And I'm sure I have plenty more hours of enjoyable questing ahead of me. But why does it feel like half the time I'm playing Walmart GTA? Bugs are getting patched out and the PC version is slowly becoming more playable, although there are still some pretty obvious problems. But some of the console versions are criminally broken. It's also worth noting that this isn't the fault of the devs, so please don't harass them. Like really, this game being unfinished has nothing to do with the random 3D artist that designed the cyberjunk. So leave him alone. Leave guy alone, you guys.
I try and I try. Life is full of disappointment.
These are actually quotes from the CDPR employees while they were making the game. I try and I try, but I have to complete 100 hours of work in 2 days. Parts of this game feel like they're being held together with Scotch tape. But it isn't even just that. Like, I'm pretty sure the best way to describe it is that this game is actually only 75% done. Cyberpunk feels like 4 different games slapped together that I've already played before that are better than Cyberpunk, which is impressive, but also somehow still disappointing. I just never felt like this game was peaking in any one area. It felt like an imitation of better games in a lot of ways that didn't quite fit together. Linear and cinematic 1 minute, and open world and janky the next. Phone alerts bombard you constantly with the force of 100 Prestons.
Another settlement has sent word that they need our help. I'll mark it on your map.
Which might have been a good thing, but it feels like they're almost always the same goddamn thing. I've heard that there are interesting side quests, but I haven't come across any. In fact, I spent several hours on the search for them, never found any, got bored, so I just spent the next hour and a half running over pedestrians with my motorcycle. Which, to be honest, was a 10 out of 10 experience, and I think it's worth considering as a standalone premise for Cyberpunk 3077. I haven't even crashed yet. Can you believe that, guys? This is way easier to maneuver than the other one. Oh, God! Some of the moments in this game really pull you in and make you interested in the world around you. And yet some of them I basically can't remember for the life of me already. Feels like only 5% of the dialogue really means anything or makes a difference. So it's actually super hard to pay attention. And before any of you hype motherfuckers in the comments say that I should be paying more attention and accuse me of being a brainlet with ADHD, just remember that you're making fun of mental illness, which happens to be against YouTube's community guidelines. Get him, Susan. But really, if you're like me, and your brain also dribbles out of your ears whenever you have to listen to people talk about the mundane details of their lives, you're probably going to miss the 2% of any conversation that actually means anything. Not to mention, the way these fucking NPCs talk makes it twice as hard to pay attention. Hey, dickwit, time to dwarf your dickhead gunk info, bro. Speak English! Which brings me to my next point. Why are there only 2 emotions that NPCs have? Like they either ignore you or they murder you. Are they silently dancing? Did I just walk into a silent disco? Oh god, I just wanted to watch you dance, please! Ah! Oh my god, they killed a bunch of their friends too. They were so f***ing mad. Press 1 if that's what you get for trying to interact with the world, dumbass. They kill you or they do nothing. Those are the 2 emotions in Cyberpunk 2077. NPCs feel like these lifeless caricatures, which wasn't too bad in a game like The Witcher, where it's in third person and you really can't see the jank too up close. But Cyberpunk gives you a first-person only front seat to the jank. The cinematic moments in this game definitely felt like a game from 2020. But the emptiness of some areas in this game and the stiffness of the NPCs made me feel like I was running around in an old Sonic game sometimes. Cops appear out of nowhere to ruin your fun before it even starts. Crime reported. Toohoo! In the middle of the desert? What the f? Oh my god, it's the police! Why? Wait, there's a goddamn cop car here now? What the f? Oh my god! And maybe because exploring open world games is my favorite way to experience them, I was just underwhelmed by how truly empty and repetitive this game felt. They probably should have just made this a linear game, since it seems like that's where their priorities were really aligned. Red Dead 2 is a great example of a cinematic open world game that tries to wear a lot of hats and barely pulls it off, mainly because it doesn't try to also be an RPG, and also probably because its development had a huge budget that was also primarily funded by underage gambling. Just like Cyberpunk. Pick a genre, dude, and try hiring enough employees to complete your game next time. It's just that Cyberpunk 2077 feels like an incredible cinematic game half of the time, and also somehow a PS2 game the other half of the time. It's just really jarring and confusing to reconcile, to be honest. And if you were also super disappointed by this game and need a pillow to cry into, I have a merch store now featuring such items. And if you're still on the fence about this game, I'd say wait. In a month, there will be plenty more patches to fix some of the bugginess. It might be clearer how moddable this game is. Plus, both the hate and hype will die down, and people will probably have a much more fleshed out and balanced perspective. I certainly haven't played everything in this game, and I'm still not sure how I feel about it 100%. Therefore, I give it a 7. Specifically because that is the number most feared by gamers everywhere. Actually though, I'm going to have to play this game a lot more before I share more definitive thoughts on it. Until then, I guess it's time to return to Lydia's embrace. They blocked the door! They blocked the door! Help! And also, if you want to watch me on another popular thing, go ahead and check out my Jedi Fallen Order review. Until next time, cooties!